Level 7, Volkmire's Inferno. Appropriately named because it's probably the only vision of hell more terrifying than Dante's. So as you notice, I'm killing all of these enemies in one hit, and I take a lot more hits to go down because I have more hearts. That's right, Battletoads is my favorite JRPG. Percent sign, right bracket, etc, etc. Or however the fuck he did that. All these enemies go down one hit, and these jumps are pretty tight, but they're no big deal. You might miss them, but probably not. So I'm going to try doing the next couple levels in much the same style I did the level 3 video, just to give you all an idea of how fucking bullshit the game gets at this point. This is way beyond the point where anyone would ever reasonably get, and if you ever made it this far, you're not getting any further. These platforms are pretty small. They are not big at all. Fucking tiny ass platforms. The enemies can't actually friendly fire. Oh, I fucking hate these goddamn things. So yeah, you can use the friendly fire thing to your advantage. You can really just do a bunch of quick attacks and, you know, dashes, shit like that. Everything goes down in one hit, so as long as they don't get the jump on you, you're covered. Over, under. That's really all there is to that. I don't know why these flaws are there, because the level's pretty much over. At least, the good part of the level's over. And shit suddenly bursts into fucking flames. Why does this look familiar? That's right, the bike section wasn't bullshit enough. They had to do sort of a repeat of that whole fucking thing. Yeah, it's another vehicle level. This time, the trick is to dodge through these tiny little gaps on this fighter jet. And if you do not know where the gaps are, you are pretty much fucked. God. Fuck this shit. I hate this. I hate this fucking level. Yeah. And for the third part, you have to keep pushing forward. Fuck, I died. Yeah, the first part, it's just positioning. The second part, it's... Fuck. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention right there. That's the problem. First part is just positioning. You know, up, down, up. That stuff. Then it pretty much repeats it, except things get smaller. You actually have more space above the jet than below it, so... You know, if you can try to keep the entire jet through the hole, you're less likely to scrape the side that way. The hitbox, I'm not even sure where it is, and I'm not, like, determined to figure that shit out. It's just fucking bullshit. Interesting little fact, though, Battletoads was actually one of the first games I ever played. I believe it was second game, or possibly third. So that probably explains a hell of a lot about me. A hell of a lot. Like, my absolute love for bullshit difficult games, the reason why I torture myself constantly, hell, even my appreciation for pattern-based shooters where you have to do a lot of memorization, that probably all goes right back to this fucking game right here. Yeah. Most likely. Or not, who knows. Okay, first section down. Fucking finally. It's just a lot of trial and error until you figure out how to do that. Second part, it's a bunch of twitch dodging between shots like this. You just want to use the same trick as you did in the surfing level. That's pretty much the same thing there. Just, you know, don't move unless something's directly in front of you. Just chill out here. That one up, don't even bother going for it. You're probably going to die. Yeah, on top of... Just look at all these fucking bullets. So apparently Battletoads is not only the greatest JRPG ever made, it's also the greatest bullet hell shooter ever made. Fuck yes. I'm sure a lot of you people will probably have like varying opinions on what my favorite shooter is. No, it's fucking Battletoads. Fuck this shit. See, I'm dying a lot. This is what a typical run-through would look like. I'm going to do like a... fuck. So yeah, that's my attempt at playing through it legitimately while talking while playing, and that didn't quite go too well there, to say nothing of that. So I'm going to do like a save state enhanced run through of that last section, with some deaths probably thrown in. Yeah, this will give you an idea of what a normal run through would look like. It would probably be better than that because I really wasn't paying attention, and talking while playing kind of fucks you up a little bit. But it's pretty much a fair assumption that you're not going to do much better than that. Alright, so I think you guys got the idea that you're really not going to get through this on your first try, or your second try for that matter. You're going to have to play this quite a bit in order to figure out all the patterns and get used to where you're supposed to move and when. You really have to know what's coming up before it's even on screen in order to be in the right place, especially when things start speeding up. And even if you do know what's coming up, sometimes you're going to be in the wrong place at the wrong time, or you're going to get caught off guard by one of the random sections, like the second section or the third section, which is the fireballs and missiles, right here. Or just some random thing is going to take you out, and that's going to fuck you up, and there's not a whole lot of room for error. You're limited to 3 continues, and at most, like, a couple of lives. And if that's even assuming that you got this far without continuing or using lives, because I'm pretty certain you would have at least used 1 continue by this point. Anyone who says this game is easy is a fucking lying son of a bitch. I know that I'm kind of fucking up a lot here, and I really don't consider myself bad at video games at all. I actually consider myself pretty good, but this game is just not something that you can walk into and completely flatten. And Plan C, the game sort of divides the levels into groups of 3 with plans. Plan C is pretty much the hardest point in the entire game. Every single level in Plan C is like a complete nightmare, which is why I said that the warp point in level 6, the fucking snake level, is such an important warp point because it allows you to bypass this level and go right to the next one, which is pretty difficult as well. I have a feeling I'm going to be using a lot of save state runs for these levels because I have real serious doubts that I'm going to get through them. I'm going to try playing through them without using save states, and I'm going to record that and all that stuff just to give you an idea of how that would look, but I really doubt I'm going to get through it on 1 try. I haven't really looked at anything beyond level 9 too much, but I have a feeling it's going to be a lot of save states from here on out, just because they are pretty generous with the 1-ups, and you get 100 points for every second you're staying alive, so they're at least a little bit lenient, but even then, it's just way too little for something this difficult. I know this update took a while, I had to do some stuff, and that kind of got in the way. But hey, I'm here. Fuck you all, good night.